Welcome to the channel. This is another camera from my collections. It's a Beseler type C6. So effectively a camera made for the US military somewhere in, I believe, in end of 50s. Big, heavy robots. It's a press type camera. Let's look around a bit. It has viewfinders, rangefinder, all of this stuff. The typical cover that folds open. There's some more text, where's the serial numbers, there's its US property and so on. I bought this legally from US, from an auction a long time ago. Here's, I think this is for flashlight, this and all kind of attachment for handles, attachment for tripod. Viewfinders 1, 2, and here's one which raises up like this. Has all kind of adjustment for the distance. The back, typical where you put a 4x5 inch or a film, roll film holder here. So here's the back. It's got probably a glass in it. Let's see what we can open up here. I haven't really used much of this since I bought it. It's one of those things which you buy and you ended up putting in a box. There's, I guess, place for some batteries maybe. A lot of this is mystery to me, to be honest. I will put links to more descriptions. Some other people have actually looked more into this. Here's a depth of field chart for 135mm lens. It's overall, it's extremely well made. It's full metal everywhere. It's sturdy. Here's the shutter winding, shutter settings, shutter speed, and all this stuff. This one doesn't work though currently at all because it's missing something, especially from the shutter. Now, okay, let's open this. Here's the shutter release button. Doesn't work. Let's open this up. Okay, so it has latches like this. So here's again metal, leather. It's actually superbly finished, as you can guess, I think for a military camera. All kind of adjustments. And you can, let's pull the lens standard out. Okay, here it is. So I didn't have a lens, get a lens with it. I mean, they're interchangeable, so I think I just need to get one here. It's clean up, knurled basically, kind of like this, the friction surface on the knobs. Front frame finder, which is on flexible springs. All adjustments, locks and so on for all possible movements, tilt. Very versatile, very well made. Bellows, still perfect, nothing wrong with them. There's the bed itself. Windows are big. In general, it's a very well made one. Let's see if I can open this one up. The rear. This is a okay. So here's this one opens up. Okay, like this. So it's got intact glass. Okay, it's got a fracture there. Some fabric or leather-like, and metal to give you shade so you can view nicely what's going through the lens. Or if you want, you can use also the range finders here and viewfinders here. And there's even a nice handle here. Let me see, good view. So here's, I hope, it's because this camera is completely black. It's made with a paint that's really not very reflective by purpose, since it's military camera, I guess. There's a knurl here, so it's good for holding hand. Ergonomically seems like a very good camera, very sturdy. Actually really good user, I would guess. There's but one minor problem with this one. Let's see if I can remove this and open the back. Okay, like this. So, the back is out. As you can see, if I turn this knob around, there's nothing happening. There are rollers down there, hidden behind there, and then there's another roller up there where should be the fabric going back and forth with the slit. It doesn't exist. I noticed a lot of the Beselers which are for sale, you can find, it's probably expensive, don't have the focal plane shutter left. They have only maybe the front lens and the shutter with it. Some texts which I've read online explain that it's because of the using this for aerial photography or no need for that focal plane shutter fast action, so you just use the shutter attached to the lens in the front. I've read also some descriptions that said that the focal plane shutter in this one was really unreliable or something similar. So when they used it, they just ripped it off or removed it and used it with the front shutter instead. So the bad quality of the shutter, which is kind of funny considering that the Graflex and a few other makers in the US made excellent long-lasting shutters that still work today without any problem. So yeah. If I find a description to the why this shutter was replaced, I'll put there, but I'm not sure. It was so long time ago I heard or read about it. It would be interesting to remake the shutter to this one, but first I would need to have a lot more detail about the shutter fabric itself. There are some cameras, you can find this Beseler C6 for sale, military version for sale, with the original shutter. Unfortunately, those are really expensive, the ones I've found. So I'm not necessarily sure I want to invest into one of those just to find out what the shutter looks like. And I don't know even if they're really intact in those even. So yeah, that's a bit of a challenge. Very beautifully made. As you can see, like everything is finished to perfection. You can see it's a bit worn out from the eyes here, so this means this actually was used. This was not an unused specimen, so either the shutter broke or it was removed, the fabric at some point. You can see there's wearing out of the plain black paint on the brass. And yeah, some certain spots are worn out enough that you can tell it was actually used. It'd be really great to get this back into use, even with just the front shutter. And it'd be really cool to have this shutter working, but yeah, I'm not too hopeful about that. Maybe if it was removed by the original user in the army, out of frustration or anger or it failing, just taking it off, then let it be that way. That's part of this thing's history. But lens and this I should definitely get for this one. It's a bit yellowed, but needs a clean up. Overall, extremely sturdy and very beautifully made device. I mean, yeah, I say everything is beautiful, blah, 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 so on. Maybe I just don't like buying cameras which are not well made. But yeah, anything negative to say about this? Yeah, the shutter, definitely, as it seems to be very difficult to find ones with a working focal plane shutter, or that the fact that the shutter even exists. It's clearly been removed. I checked it well enough some time ago that it's clearly been ripped off and removed from this completely. So it was intentionally removed, either as not needed or being not good enough for that use. The thing is, it's quite heavy. It's aluminum, partly at least, partly brass. It reminds me somewhat in how small details are made. It reminds me a bit of the Linhof view cameras or field cameras or whatever you call them, Linhof press cameras. It reminds me quite a lot of them in the quality. And just look at this knob here. It's grooves and then slots and leather, everything engraved. I mean, there's no sharp edges anywhere. It's been like rounded everywhere beautifully. Yeah. It's I would say, if you want a camera and you don't care about the shutter curtain, this is, I would say, probably a very robust camera to have, to use as a press camera, or even everyday photography, because of the movements, because being very robust, because just looking cool in black and saying US government property and military, whatever in the text. But overall, it's a, if you get one of these, I think it's a good user camera. Just forget the focal plane shutter part. That's most likely, even if you find one, it's not going to work. Yeah. It's like a, I don't know, I would say it's like a military version of a Linhof camera. It has some of the same feeling in how it's made. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.